Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to take you through a full day of eating. It's going to be very typical, like stuff that I generally eat, especially during quarantine, because um, foods from outside are not very accessible. So my habits have really changed since the lockdown was sort of imposed, because I am someone who would love eating out or ordering food. It's just so convenient, and I think the lockdown really forced all of us to just eat whatever we have available at home. And thankfully, I'm very grateful that I live with my mom right now, and she cooks every single day, and I've just fallen in love with home foods. Okay, so before we get started, just a disclaimer here: my macros may not work for you. Okay, these are macros that I have got from my coach. It's something that I have sort of had for a while. I've had to make a few tweaks here and there along my journey, so there is no saying how your body would react if you were to follow my macros. So the only reason I'm going to be putting it out there is to give you all a rough understanding of how much I eat. But if you do want to find out your specific macros, then I do suggest signing up with someone who has that kind of knowledge, a trainer, a nutritionist, who can help you out better. Now, that being said, let's get into this video. Alright, so my days generally start, I like to start them around 9. Like, I like waking up around 9, but lately I've been getting up a little bit later. So the first thing that I do when I wake up is obviously I'll go to the washroom, I'll freshen up, all of that. But I wake up feeling extremely thirsty, so I have to drink water. And the thing is, a lot of people struggle with getting their water in, and that's why I would suggest get like a 1 liter bottle. I even used to have like 2 liter bottles in the past, which broke. But having this bottle on my table at all times really helps me get my water in. And also, like, I've been drinking so much water for so many like years now that it's almost a habit. Like, getting 3 liters of water in is not difficult for me at all. Sometimes I'll even push to 3.5 if I'm really thirsty that day. So I don't even keep a glass on my table. I just sip from my water bottle, and that's how I sort of I just keep it in my mind that I have to refill this maybe like twice or thrice. And now I've gotten so used to it that I don't even have to think about it. After that's done, I need my morning coffee. I never used to be so caffeine dependent, and I'm trying to sort of phase that out because my sleep cycle isn't the best right now, thanks to coffee. But anyway, I still do drink 1 cup of coffee in the mornings. In my family, I'm the only one who sort of has coffee, so then I go and make it on my own. Very simple, nothing great. Obviously, a few weeks ago, the whole dalgona coffee trend was all over the internet, and I enjoyed making that too. But the sugar content in that was a little bit high, and like, I think each recipe requires like 2 tablespoons of sugar, and I would sort of cut that down to like 1.5. But it's like, if you cut down on too much sugar there, you don't get the sort of soft peaks. It just isn't the same. And once I like sort of started making dalgona coffee, I realized that the major difference would be that it creates a really nice foamy coffee. And I personally have never been like much of a cappuccino person. I just like my coffee. I'm not necessarily one to go after the foam. So then after a point, I realized that it's just way too much work to get out my hand mixer and whisk and sort of make dalgona every morning, which I did religiously for 2 weeks. But now all I do is I've got instant coffee, so I use Davidoff, fine aroma or rich aroma, whichever I have around, and I'll just take about 1 tablespoon of that, mix it in hot water, pour it over a glass of cold milk. I only drink iced coffee. I don't like hot coffee at all. Like, unless it's winter, it's freezing, you'll always see me having iced coffee. So I always have ice in my fridge, make it myself, and I always sort of eat whatever is made at home. So typically in my household, we usually have upma, or we have poha, or we have sabudana khichdi, which is like my favorite. It's my favorite. So like, whatever my mom and grandparents sort of eat in the morning, they'll keep some for me, and that's what I have with my coffee. So I don't wake up extremely hungry, and that's why I'll have like a small bowl of it. So that's like my breakfast, just a small bowl of like poha, upma, khichdi, whatever is made at home, plus my coffee. And that sort of keeps me going for about 2-3 hours. So I'm going to put the calories for my breakfast over here, so you can see how much I sort of ate. When it comes to lunch, non-veg food is a little bit harder to get right now, but my mom loves seafood. Like, everyone in my house loves seafood, so usually we do have like fish or prawns or crab or something at home. But also non-veg is cooked only on certain days of the week, so like 3 times a week at max, and the rest of the days there's obviously some kind of sabji, some kind of vegetable being cooked. And let me tell you one thing, I am someone who is so bad at eating vegetables. Like I think before this whole lockdown thing happened, I would only have spinach because I love spinach. Like palak is my favorite vegetable. I have palak, I'll have aloo, I'll have like tomato ki sabji, and like just 2 3 other things. Okay, if there's like karela or even bhindi for that matter, I wasn't such a big fan of it. And if there's like lauki and tindi and all, so I just wouldn't eat it. So, but ever since the lockdown, that has changed. Like I have been eating everything that's made at home, no matter what sabji it is. I've been having a bit of it. So, in today's full day of eating, actually, there was some prawn curry made at home, and that's what I had for lunch. My mom makes the most amazing seafood. Okay, it's like this prawn like tomato curry made prawns. It's just phenomenal. So she made that, and alongside that we have something called amti, which is like, how would I put it, it's like a Maharashtrian dal with some, it's like Maharashtrian dal with tadka. Okay, and every day at my house we do make some kind of bhakri. So I do like roti chapati as well, but bhakri is really grown on me. So we either have jawar ki bhakri, or we have nachni or ragi. So either one of those two. So I'll have like one of that, and I like my bhakri with ghee on it, so I'll have 1 spoon of ghee on top. And the ghee is actually made at home by my grandmom. So she sort of makes, so we make dahi, ghee, everything at home from the milk we have. And alongside that, like I am someone who loves my rice, so I'll have maybe like half a cup of rice with that. So my plate for lunch was a bowl of prawn curry. There was amti, or the dal that I told you about. There was bhakri with tup or ghee, and there was half cup of rice. This is how much I ate for my lunch. Like this is the calorie count. From after lunch till the evening, I sort of have some kind of work to do. And in the evenings, when I get hungry again, unfortunately, I've just developed this really bad habit of having coffee in the evenings. But I'm, again, as I said, I'm trying to phase that out. So yeah, so today particularly I did have coffee. So I had coffee and I made my oats.
Alright, so in order to make my coffee, all I do is heat a little bit of water in the microwave for about 30 seconds, and this just gets the water hot enough to the point where it's not really boiling, but it's just really hot. And I use instant coffee, and I love the flavor of fine aroma. I like rich aroma as well. I take about 1 tablespoon of this and dump that into my hot water, and I also add about half a teaspoon of sugar. I don't want to like sort of cut that out completely. I used to drink coffee with no sugar at all. I'm okay with that as well, but I just like my coffee with a little bit of sugar these days. So then I just give it a really good mix while I sort of prepare my cold milk. So there is a doodh wala who comes to my house, and then my grandmom like heats the milk, and that's why there is a bit of cream on top, and that's why I use a strainer. And once I'm done straining the milk, I do make sure I add a few cubes of ice, because I just cannot do with warm or hot coffee. I love iced coffee. And then all you gotta do is pour that beautiful coffee mixture all over the cold milk and then mix it together, and you're done. For anyone who's been following me on Instagram, you all know how much I love my oats, and you've probably seen me show you all this recipe before, but I get questions about it all the time, so I figured I'll just show it here as well. So I've taken about 1/4 cup of oats, and I just cover it with water. I never like measure my water out. I just sort of put in enough to submerge it, and then it goes into the microwave for about a minute. But I do make sure I keep like a close eye on it, because sometimes it can overflow, so I do suggest you do that as well. And it looks like this once it's out of the microwave, and from here on you can sort of add whatever toppings you like. I usually add about a scoop of protein, and I sort of just mix that together. So keep in mind that when you're mixing your whey protein in, it may look really dry at one point, but it will get better. After I've mixed the protein in, I like adding peanut butter, so you could add Skippy or whatever you have lying around. I have this natural dark chocolate peanut butter which I really like, and of course you could mix it all in, but I like mine presented this way. And then I top it off with some cinnamon. I just really like how this tastes. This is completely optional, of course. And for me, my oats just aren't complete without some dark chocolate, so I use the 70% dark Lindt, and yeah, I sort of just leave it out there for a while so it gets really nice and melty, and that's it. That's how I love my oats.
So yeah, my evening snack is usually a cup of coffee and oats, because this also sort of doubles as my pre-workout meal, and that's why I have this around 5:30, and then I start my workouts around 7:30. A lot of people ask me like, what do you eat for pre-workout and what do you eat post-workout, blah blah. I would say don't complicate it, don't like overthink it. If you're someone like me who works out in the evenings, then your pre-workout could be something like what I'm having, like coffee and oats, or you could have like something that used to be one of my favorite pre-workouts, would be just a slice of bread with peanut butter, banana, cinnamon, and a bit of maple syrup. It's just fantastic for a workout. And your post-workout meal would be dinner if you're someone who works out in the evening. So don't overthink that. This is how much my snacks sort of come up to. So the only thing, I couldn't sort of scroll down and get everything in one shot, but the only thing that's missing is Davidoff, which comes to 0 calories anyway. And yeah, so this is how much I generally have for snacks. All right, now moving to dinner. So dinner will usually be something left over from whatever's made in the afternoon. So we'll always have some sabji left over because my mom will make that much extra. So we'll have so today particularly there was some of the prawn curry left, so we had that. And my grandmom makes this really nice masala omelette, so we have that. So I had prawn curry, and I had amti bhat, which is just dal rice. So yeah, I have rice for dinner almost every single day. It's a staple for me because I've grown up eating rice. Okay, so it's something that comes to me very naturally, and I don't see the need of sort of taking that away. So today I had my dal, I had my rice, I had the prawn curry, and I had my masala omelette. And these are my macros for dinner. So when it comes to tracking, there's always a few ways you can go about it. Either you can track everything after every single meal, which I would recommend because it's just easier not to miss out on any like condiments that you pick up. Like for example, it's like 1 spoon of ghee or achar or some chutney, something like that. It's just easier to sort of remember that right after a meal as opposed to at the end of the day. But if you are someone who's too busy, then you can always account for it at the end of your day. So yeah, once again, I just want you all to know that these are my macros. This is what I have been following. It may not work for you, so I would really not encourage you to follow what I am doing blindly. I just wanted to give you an idea of like how I eat on a daily basis, and I just want to let you know that it's okay to eat ghar ka khana. I don't want you to get discouraged by the content that's out there on YouTube, where a lot of like fitness influencers are from the US or from Australia, and their eating habits are very different from ours. But that doesn't mean that our diet is bad. I think at the end of the day, when it comes to the Indian diet, it's very nutritious. It's just you sort of have to mind your portions. So throughout this quarantine, my focus has not been like hitting a certain amount of protein, not at all. I'm just sort of enjoying ghar ka khana. I'm eating it, I'm happy, I am getting closer to my goals, I feel great, I look great. And I think that's what it's all about. It's not about sitting there eating sad food. Like imagine you're sitting at your table, you're eating your grilled chicken and grilled veggies, and everyone around you is just having normal food. It's not going to be sustainable, guys. Like you really need to strike a balance there. And right now, I think especially in this quarantine, I think we do need to shift our focus. Like before this lockdown was imposed, I did have to like sort of hit my macros. I that was something that was a priority for me. But I do understand that right now in this situation, that's not something that I have full control of, and that's why I'm sort of just watching my overall calories instead. I'm having a good amount of carbs per day. My protein would be, I would say, low to moderate. Okay, so in this full day of eating, I still did have like sources of protein. Like I had my prawns, I had my eggs, so it was a little easier for me to hit almost like 90 grams of protein. But on other days when when there's only vegetarian food cooked at home, some days I barely hit 60 grams, and that's okay because right now my focus isn't that. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to give me a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, bell notifications button so that you get notified every time I upload a video, and let me know if you'd like me to make more of these videos, or if you have any other suggestions for future YouTube videos that you'd like to see from me. Alright, I'll see you in the next one then. Bye!